Hello. We have taken a break for a while, so I hope you are fresh now. And we need to go through these exercises. I will go through them, and then I will start the last part. I think I'm going to send you a PDF from these lectures to be with you, just to go through it when you get time, inshallah. Okay, for the first problem, he's stating that those problems are very, very important. And you will see that they are very, very close to the mock exam or to the questions that came into in the midterm in the previous years. So the first question is the solution set of this system. I want to solve this system. As you can see, this is not a system that will develop a unique solution. Why?
Because it's
two equations, three unknowns. Yes. So I will start with the following. I will start to put the system on the form of Ax equal to 0 on a matrix form, or on the augmented form directly. So this is exactly the first form. I have two equations, 0 and 0. The results are 1, 1, the coefficients of the first equation, 1, 1, 1. And for the second one, which is 0, 1, and 1, I will start reducing this augmented matrix into the echelon form. So, any suggestions? Okay, I believe I can multiply the second row by -1, and then I will add it on the first row. Once you do this, you will find that I have 0, 1, and 1. The result is 0, -1 plus 1 equal to 0, -1 plus 1 also equal to 0, and this is for the first row. I will start to re-expand them into set of variables, or into the explicit form. So the first one is going to be x1 equal to 0. For the second row, you will have x2 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0. And this implies that x1 equal to 0 and x2 equal to -x3, and the x3 will remain the same. So if I want to write this on a setting of variables, or in a set of numbers, so I'm sorry, on the solution set, so I will have x1, x2, and x3. This is the coordinates of the solution set. Instead of x1, we have 0. Instead of x2, we will have -x3, and we have x3. We can take x3 as a common, so the combination will be 0, -1, and +1. Of course, this is an infinite number of solutions, so the solution set is simply x3 times 0, -1, and 1. And we can say that the null of A space, or the solution space, can be expressed as the set of copies of this vector, which is 0, -1, and +1. Okay.
I have a question. Why do we, when it comes to x3 equals, like we don't have anything above it? Yes. Why don't we write that x3 is equal to -x2?
Equal to what?
Why don't we write x3 is equal to -x2?
How to write it? It's from here. x2 equal to negative, this is the third column. Yes?
Okay, yeah.
So it's 1 times x2 plus 1 times x3.
Yes.
I'm getting x2 as it is in the second row as a function in x3. It's not going to make a difference, okay, if you either use x3, x2, z, because you know that x3, it belongs to, from this point, I can say that x3 belongs to R, and I can replace x3 by a constant. Okay? Yes? So mainly it will make no difference. You will still have the combination of the vectors that we are talking about.
Okay.
So the solution will be copies from 0, -1, and 1. Just to multiply by scalar, 0, -2, 2, 0, -3, and 3, 0, 3, and the -3, it's the same. Just like in scalar that 1's 2 are. فاهمني يا فراد؟ خدت بالك ان السولوشن set of this system, homogeneous system of equation, it's called what? Null. So when you hear that we need null A of this system, all you have to do is to solve the system, homogeneous system, and get the relation between the variables, and this is going to be the null.
Okay.
Remark, is stating here, solve the system of equations. We already did. Okay, I need you to get the kernel R3 into R2, which is exactly in front of you, R's. Okay, because simply I have A times X, which moves things from the 3-dimension into the 2-dimension. And it's exactly like the null of A. So this is actually the transforms that we are talking about. So either solving the system, getting the kernel. Also, I need you to find the orthogonal complement of the span. Look to the span. What are these two vectors? What are these two vectors? Those are the row vectors.
Okay.
And the orthogonal complement on the row vectors, see, these are the row vectors. And the orthogonal complement on the rows, on the row space, is the null space. So it's exactly the same like the solution. So this statement is exactly like this one, the same like that one, and also here is directly find the null space of 1, 0, 1, 1, exactly the same. All of them, it means you have to solve the system and get the value of 0, -1, and 1. And here is, as you can see, A, B, C, and D, all of them with the span of 0, -1, and 1. تمام؟ يبقى الفور comments خلي بالك او الفور requirements, it's all similar to each other. I can ask you for the orthogonal complement of the row space, which stands for the null. I can ask you for the kernel of the transform from R3 into R2 for this system, which is exactly like solving the system and so on. Okay, so this example is very important, and remarking how the question can come to you. This is actually the 4 questions which have the same answer. Okay, let's go for the second question. The second question is giving you the matrix A, which stands for the basis for the A vector space, and he's asking you about the coefficient matrix of AX equal B. So, given A, he did the coefficient matrix of the system. Find the basis for the column and the row spaces of A. Then find the basis for all null space of A. Then he is asking you some questions about B and so on. Let's start with these two requirements. Both of them is targeting that you solve the system of equations. I'm sorry, I will just put this.
I don't think you can adjust the side picture.
So all I have to do now all I have to do is to try once more to resolve the system, which is AX equals 0, which is trying to get the null space of this matrix. So I will start with 2, okay, 2, 3, and 1. Then I will have 1, -2, then 1. Then I will have 7, 0, and 5. This is 7, 0, and 5. And I will try to get the homogeneous solution once more for this system. Okay, so I have 2, 1, 7, 3, -2, 0, 1, 1, 5. The first step is to get a pivot for the first row. I can either replace these two rows, or simply I will multiply the last row with -1 and add it on the first row. If I did that, so I will have negative 1 plus 2, which is 1, negative 1 plus 1, which is 0, negative 5 plus 7, which is 2, and all of them equal to 0. Once more, I will use this pivot in order to change these values to become zeros. So simply, negative 3 plus 3 is going to equal to 0, negative 3 times 0, 0, and negative 2, negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, so negative 3 times 0 and 0, which is going to be 0. In a similar manner, negative 1 plus 1 equal to 0, negative times 0 and 1, negative 2 plus 5, which is going to be 3, negative 0 and 0, which is going to come up to 0. In a similar manner, I will need this value to be positive 1. I can do this by dividing all the second row on negative 2, which is going to lead to that we will have, okay, 0, 1, and then negative 6 divided by negative 2 is going to be 3. Okay, once more, I will multiply this in negative and add it on the last row, which will lead to just only the row of zeros. And then I will have the first row, which is 1, 0, 2, and 0. This is the reduced echelon form. Now, I can find the null. What should I do to get the null space? Can you continue? What should we do? We will consider 1 times x1 is exactly right.
Okay.
0 times x2 plus 2 times
x3,
which equal to
0.
for the second row, Continue.
x2
x2 plus
3x3,
3, which equal to 0. That's gonna be x1 equal to negative 2 over x3, and same way like x2 equal 3x3. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, the second step, which means that we have
negative 3.
x1, x2, and x3. I will replace x1 by negative 2 x3. Replacing x2 by
Isn't
x3
it negative 3x3?
and x3 as it is. Once more, yes. This is, I will move it. Okay, this is negative. Yes, you are right. This is negative 3x3. I will take x3 as a common, as we used to do, and this is the form of the infinite number of solutions, or what we called the null. So, the null of A now can be, it is the span of the vector space, which is controlled by negative 2, negative 3, and 1. I can, by the idea, I can write it as 2, 3, and the negative 1. It will make no difference, because you can choose any value for x3. It should be on this form. Okay, I will leave it as it is. Negative 2, negative 3, and positive 1. So this is the span. I need you to write me the row span of A. So this is the row span of A. How to get the row span? Let me just leave this. Once more, get back to our matrix. This means the first row, which is 1, 0, and 2. And for the second row, which is 0, 1, and 3, which is the span, the row span of A. If I want to get the column span of A, so this is the column of A, which is simply the span of the first pivot, or the pivot of the first row, of the first column. It means I will take the first column of matrix A, which is 2, 3, and 1. معايا فراس؟ بعدين I will take the pivot of the second column, which actually exists in the echelon form. معايا يا فراس آخر واحد. يبقى إذا I will take the last column, which is 1. The second column, which 1, negative 2, and 1. So this is the null, this is the row, this is the column vector spaces. Okay, here we go. So the system getting the system as consistent once B equal to A. So we will have the row which is 1 0 2 0 1 3. We will have the column which is 2 3 1 1 negative 2 and 1, and we already have the null which is negative 2 negative 3 and 1. Okay, he asks you find a B so that AXB is consistent. Find the value of B, which is simply any numbers that you would like to use. I will use 2, 3, and negative 1. It's okay. Okay, any combination for the B. Okay, 2, 3, and 1. And he's suggesting that, okay, continue, and another, so it is inconsistent. So I want you to choose just the values of B, any values of B, that will make this system is consistent. اوكي؟ اختار الكولوم بتاع البي، مش احنا دلوقتي بنقول AX equal B صح؟
we need the third row صح؟
اختار اي نمبرز للست بتاعت مين؟ بتاعت البي. اوكي؟ اختار اي نمبرز موجوده بس بحيث ان انت يبقى عندك ان الكولوم بتاعك ده اوريدي بيدي لك بيريزلت للسيم سولوشن اللي انت جايبه.
يعني ممكن نختار نيجاتيف 2 نيجاتيف 3 و 1.
يعني ممكن اجي هنا انت عايز تخلي ده 0 1 3 and 0. اوكي؟ يبقى انا هختار نفس النمبرز اوكي which is 2 3 واي حاجه. يبقى انا هختار 2 3 and anything اهو.
لا انا مش
فاهم. 2 3 واي ايه؟ واي نمبر. الست ده يدي لك سولوشن. فاهمني؟
بس احنا اخترنا الارقام دي على اساس ايه بالظبط؟
اي ارقام الارقام اللي موجوده في الكولوم الاخير.
اوكي.
ماشي؟ اي ست اوف نمبرز. بس المهم ان الست اللي انت تختارها لما اجي اعمل اكونتينيو عليها يروح مدي لك ايه؟ infinite number of solutions. ما هو دول هيدلون نفس الكلام. اوكي؟ طبعا I can work them exactly by using elementary operations اللي انا حطيتها معايا واختار النمبرز دول. طيب عايز احط ست ثانيه لبي بحيث السيستم ده يبقى inconsistent. شيل النمبرز دول وحط اي حاجه وليكن I will check لو انا بحل المساله بتاعتي اهي ادي الست بتاعي. ده فين السولوشن؟ ده السولوشن بتاع النال سبيس نيجاتيف 2 نيجاتيف 3 وكام؟ 1. لو انت اخترت اي نمبر من الكومباينيشن دي هيدي لك حل معايا. هيبقى السيستم بتاعك كونسيستنت. يعني انا ممكن اختار ان البي بتاعي يبقى 2 و3 وكام؟ 1. او يبقى اي ست ثانيه انت عايز تختارها بيزد على السبان اللي موجود في الاخر. طيب لو انا حبيت ان انا اختار اي نمبر ثاني هختار من الاول ادي 2 و 3 1 negative 2 and 1 7 0 and 5. Just put anything. Let's do 1 0 0 and 5. Once you start moving you will find a row, a complete row which equal to 0, and this value is not going to equal to 0, which means you will have no solution. And that's it. لذلك بص لو انا حطيت ارقام زي ده 1 0 0 او لو حطيت 0 1 0 whatever يعني مثلا اهو بالفورم الستبس بتاعت السولوشن بتاع السيستم ده جرب كده. انا هاجي اضرب ده تاني في نيجاتيف واقلد على مين؟ على الفيرست رو صح؟ اعمل كده يبقى ده نيجاتيف 1 و2 هيدي لك 1 نيجاتيف 1 هيدي لك 0 نيجاتيف 5 و7 هيديني 2 نيجاتيف 1 و0 بقى بنيجاتيف 1 صح كده ولا لا؟ نيجاتيف 0 0 ده يدنه زي ما هو بكام؟ بزيرو. بعدين خش على الستيب اللي بعدين نيجاتيف 3 و3 يبقى بزيرو نيجاتيف 3 ونيجاتيف 2 بنيجاتيف 2 نيجاتيف 3 تايمز 2 بنيجاتيف 6 و0 بنيجاتيف 6 نيجاتيف 3 تايمز 0 بزيرو بلس 1 النمبرز اللي تحت نيجاتيف 1 بزيرو نيجاتيف 0 1 او نيجاتيف في 2 بنيجاتيف 2 و5 يقوم يديني 3. بس انا بضرب الاولاني في نيجاتيف وبقاد فيدنه بكام؟ صح كده؟ طيب ستارت بقى الستيب الثاني. اول ما تيجي في الستيب الثاني لو انا ضربت ده في نيجاتيف هاف وادد على اللاست رو هيروح مدي لك 0 و0 0 0 0 but this value is going to be negative 1 over 2 صح ولا بالظبط؟ which means no solution لان الرانك of A doesn't equal to الرانك بتاع مين؟
بتاع B
بتاعت الاوجمنتد ماتريكس. يبقى اي نمبرز استخدمها 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 and so on هيبوظ لك على طول الايه؟ السيستم
في
بتاعك.
الاوجمانتد سايد اوف
ده الاوجمانتد سايد بتاع الماتريكس. طيب just wait a second. انا واضح ان انا واخد جد فل يعني. المسألة اللي بعديها حلوة أوي.
Is it gonna be like the same concept?
No. يعني قريب منه. Let's see. دي عايزين نكتبها كويس لأنها صح. Let's see once more for this problem. تعالوا بقى افكر فيه في مسألة حلوة قوي. بيقول consider that B is given by 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, 0, 1, 3, and 1, and the last row is zeros. Is a row equivalent to A. أنا مدي لك ال B والبي دي في فين؟ في الإشلون form. Look at it. It's in already on the echelon form.
Yes.
Okay? Okay. Can you please give me the null solution of A? Yes.
It's gonna be x.
So
x1.
it's going to be 1, 0, and 0. Then I have 0, 1, and 0.
Negative
Then
1, 3, and 0.
Negative 1, 3, and 0.
Negative 2, 1.
Then finally, negative 2, 1, and 0. And we already know in the augmented matrix we have 0, 0, and 0.
Okay. How did we know it was an equivalent augmented matrix? How did we know it was it didn't tell us anything about it being an augmented matrix?
It is on the form of augmented in order to get the null. Because the null solution is the homogeneous solution of the system AX equals 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, start بقى. يبقى دوت هيديلك ايه؟ x1
بعدين plus
minus x2 minus x3 minus 2 of an x4 equal to
0.
And for the second row, it's gonna be x2 plus 3 of x3 plus x4, which equal to 0. From these two equations, we can imply that x1 equal to x3 plus a 2 of x4. And for the second equation, x2 will equal to minus 3 of an x3 minus of an x4. And simply, now we can write the solution as x1, x2, x3, and x4. And which is gonna be, instead of x1, I will have x3 plus 2 over x4. And x2 can be replaced by negative 3 x3 minus x4. For the third component, I have x3 plus 0 of an x4. And for x4, I have 0 x3 plus x4, which can be separated than each other by plus, and I will have now x4, which starts from a 2, then 2 from the first component, then minus 1 from the second component, and then 0 for the third component, and then 1. For x3, I can have 1 for the first component, negative 3 for the second component. For the third component, it's positive 1, and 0 for the last component. So the null space can be given by. So the null of A is simply, it is the span of consists of 1, -3, 1, and 0. And the other vector is 2, -1, 0, and 1. Yes? Okay. So the row span will be row span بنجيبه من الاشلون فورم على طول في الاشلون فورم على طول. ده الرو سبان بتاع الايه؟ which is gonna be
1 0
the span of
1
0
-1 -2
-2. Okay. And
0 1
0 1
3
3 and
1
1, which is more than perfect. Can we get the column?
yes
Okay. I will need the first column, but from the main matrix. And I will need the second column from the main matrix.
okay
Okay, I don't have the first or the second, because I don't have the main matrix.
okay this
Okay, so this is the matrix in the echelon form. I don't have the main matrix yet.
okay
Okay, so we can't get it for the time being. So now, I believe this is correct. 1, -3, 1, and 0. It's exactly right. 2, -1, 0, and 1. And for the last one, for the row, which is 1, 0, -1, 0, 1, 3, 1. But the column, it's impossible to get at the time being because simply we don't have the A matrix. Okay, listen to this first. So this is okay? Yes. Let's read for B. Consider that B matrix. Okay. Continue.
Consider that B is obtained by applying to A in that order the following elementary operations.
We already talked that before.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what. This is the B matrix. Okay. And we got the B matrix from B is obtained by applying to A in that order the following elementary operations. So if I have the A matrix, okay, so this is the A matrix.
Wants us to get the original.
If I multiply it by this operation, what's that operation?
-1.
Which is -1. So it is E minus R1. So I'm going to multiply by the elementary operation, which multiplies the first row by -1. Then the second operation, which stands for replacing, yes, R1
and R2.
and R2. Then I will multiply by the third operation, which makes, or which you do, what does it do?
R3 plus 2.
Okay, it's going to multiply the second row by 2, then adding it on R3. If I did these operations in that order, I will end up having what?
B.
The B matrix. Okay? Okay.
Oh,
perfect.
A. Actually.
Mm-hmm.
A مش B.
لا B. لأن الoperations دي أنا بعملها لل A and I will get the B.
Okay.
Let's do it once more.
Is it possible to get A from B?
Yes. Yes, we will do that. Once more, Mr. Firas, consider that B is obtained, this matrix,
Yes.
is obtained by applying to A the following elementary matrices. The main thing that you should think about is the order of the elementary operations. The order of elementary operations starts from multiplying first row by negative. Yes?
No.
So I will write the matrix A and I will multiply from the left.
Okay, yeah.
A minus R1. This operation will happen first. Then I will replace the rows. So I'll multiply from the left. R1, R2. And in a similar manner, but after all of this, I will multiply the third row, the second row by 2, and then adding all the third. Can you tertib?
Oh.
Okay. Let's see what he needs. Consider that be elementary matrices from that. In AX equal, find a vector X. Okay, that be equal to 1, 1, and 2. يعني هات لي الفيكتور اكس، هات لي الفيكتور اكس، اوكي، اللي البي بتاعته بتساوي كام؟
1 1 2.
يبقى انت لازم تجيب مين؟ You will have to get the A matrix. How to get the A matrix? How to get the A matrix?
We start from the right to the left, so?
I will have to
Because
multiply both sides by the inverse of these operations. Yes? These operations, if it was applied on A, it will lead to B. So if I reversed these operations and multiplied them by B, it's supposed to get to A. So now I can write that A equal to E R3 plus 2R2 times the E of R1 to R2 times E minus R1 to the power of -1 times what?
B.
How to get the inverse of these operations? It's really very simple. Because you know that if I have more than one matrix multiplied in each other and to the power of -1, what I have to do is to get the reverse order of these operations with -1. So now I will have E minus R1, -1, times E of R1 times R2 minus 1 times E R3 plus 2R2 minus 1, and all of them multiplied in B. How to get the inverse of this matrix? In order to get the inverse of this operation, I will multiply R1 by negative. Yes?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is to take this matrix and then multiply it by negative.
Okay.
Okay? So this will remain for the negative of R1. But you will have to get this matrix first, which is negative R1. Then for this matrix, it will also, the inverse will be the same. R1 times R2. I will replace them once more.
Okay.
And then times, this matrix should be exchanged to be, instead of adding 2, I will subtract 2. And that's the inverse of this operation. So it's going to be R3 minus 2 over R2, and all of them are multiplied in B. خلي بالك for us، خلي بالك انه اول حاجه الاوبريشنز اللي موجوده دي اتعملت ازاي، او الاوبريشنز اللي موجوده دي. اول اوبريشن which this one which states that I have a unit matrix. I'm multiplying the second row in 2 and adding it on the third row. خلاص انت معايا؟ 0 1 0. يعني ده ينضرب في 2 يتقال على R3. يبقى ده 0 و 2 and 1. The first row will remain the same. 1 double 0. Yes? For this one, I will have to change the rows first and second. Yep. So I will have 0 1 0. Then I will have 1 0 0. Then for the last row, it will remain the same. For this one, it means I will have to multiply R1 in -1. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is minus R1, am I right? Yes? And this is 0, 1, and 0, 0, 0, and 1. These are the 3 operations that we already did on A.
Okay.
Okay? So, دي الاوبريشنز اللي انا عملتها في مين؟ في ال A. لما باخد الاوبريشنز دي وبريبليس them، الفيرست ماتريكس will be here. دي الماتريكس الاولانيه. والماتريكس الاولانيه انت هترجع تاني تضربها في نيجاتيف 1.
Yeah.
Okay? So once more I will change the order. طبعا خلي بالك، يبقى انا هبدا اعمل البروسيس بتاعت المالتيبليكيشن بتاعت الماتريسيز دي. انا كتبتها وحليتها، خليني اوريها لك في ثانيه. الستبس بتوعنا بالظبط. اول واحده لو انت واخد بالك، اول واحده فيهم this is the first, it's gonna be the last matrix which is gonna be the inverse, so I'm replacing the minus. So what I have to do is to get the first one, which is simply negative R1. So it's a negative 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 0 and 1. Then times, I will replace R1 and R2. So I will have 0, 1, 0, then 1, double 0, 0, 0 and 1. And then the last one is simply having 0, negative 2 and 1, 0, 1, 0, then I will have 1, 0, 0 for the last operation. And all of these matrices should be multiplied by the B matrix, which is simply 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, then I will have 0, 1, 3, and 1, and the last row is the 4 zeros. Am I right?
Yes.
Let me check about this. So this is the last matrix, this is the one before, okay? This is the A matrix, and this is the first one. طيب, how to multiply all of these operations? I will start by getting those matrices multiplied in each other. Then the result will be multiplied by the third one. Finally, I will get the multiplication of all of these three matrices by the last matrix of B, and this is how I'm going to get A. Okay? Okay, let's start with the first one. تابعني بقى. These operations are okay, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I can erase them now. And I will start from the beginning. Okay, once you multiply this matrix by that matrix, what's the result? What's the result? It means I will multiply the first row by negative 1. So the first matrix or the result matrix